Big day. Oh. Hey. Raise head. Home.
I would like to welcome Miss Candace Pipkin in the singing of the national anthem. She is the wife of Lieutenant Colonel Brian Pipkin, Deputy Commander of the 59th Aviation Troop Command.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Cool. Oh. Oh.
Post the colors.
Yep.
At this time, the invocation will be given by Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Good morning. Let me say this to you. I'm delighted to be with you, to be home today. This is not about the Republicans, about the Republic. Not about Democrats, about the democracy. We've learned to live together. As brothers and sisters, we must learn to live together. We fight and we die, we must learn to live together. I want to make this statement. The veterans serve all of us. All of us must serve the veterans. They should get food half price. They should get clothes cheaper, cars cheaper. We must show it. Now, Reverend Greenville say, if you got a good religion, show me some sign. If you love veterans, show some sign. Let's show our love for them and for their families. Our Father and our God, we ask you to have mercy upon us. Search our hearts, you know our ways. Bless our veterans who are here and home and those who are abroad. Spread their lives. Let us be kind to them, loving to them. We learn to survive apart, now we learn to live together. Bless us and keep us. If anything between us that shouldn't be removed and make us better and more fit for the journey. We know you can if you will. There's nothing too hard for you. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adjutant General of South Carolina, U.S. Army, Major General R. Van McCarty.
Good morning and welcome here to the 2020 Military Department of South Carolina Day at the State House. It's an opportunity for us to have our Army, Air, our state employees that work each and every day with the military department to do what they have to do to help us as soldiers and airmen support our jobs, allowing us to do our mission. We want to also recognize many of the other components of the military department, our South Carolina State Guard, our Joint Services Detachment, our Youth and Post Challenge, our South Carolina Military Museum, and our Emergency Management Division. All of those entities make up the Military Department of South Carolina. But we're proud today to have the opportunity to be here, and I'd be remiss without saying that although we wear the uniforms of the Army and Air Force, this is a day, though, to celebrate all the men and women who serve in all branches of our service: the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and our Coast Guard. But also to say to the families, to the spouses, to the children of all those servicemen and women, how they play such an important part in allowing their loved ones to do the work of this great nation. Now, we're here today to specifically have an opportunity to recognize our soldiers and airmen of the year, our families of the year, those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to showcase their talents, to showcase their dedication and demonstration of their patriotism, their commitment to being a part of this great force. Why are we here today, though? We want to also thank our General Assembly and what they have done to help support our financial needs as it relates to the budget that allows us to do our work. We could not, without the help of the South Carolina General Assembly, do what we do, because those funds, although relatively small in our total budget, are critical in allowing us to utilize the federal dollars that come to the state of South Carolina to the military department. Special thanks to Governor McMaster for his leadership in not only helping to direct those resources that are critical to us, but more importantly, his commitment to standing with our soldiers, with our airmen, and all of our veterans, and thanking them for their service, thanking them for their sacrifice, and showing a level of appreciation that, sir, I'm quite proud of, and saying thank you for that. He recently announced a new cabinet position. Major General Grimsley is that nominee. I believe his confirmation hearing is tomorrow. We're encouraged that that will go well and see him get on the ground running so he can advocate for veterans of all branches of our services here in the great state of South Carolina. But just wanting to say, from all the members of the Military Department of South Carolina, the employees, our soldiers, our airmen, and their families, thank you for being here today, but more importantly, thank you for being there to support us when we need it most. Today we have over 1,000 of our soldiers and airmen deployed. Most of those are directly supporting or involved in the war fight. It is a tough time. It has been a tough time for the last decade and a half. But men and women, like those that are here today, along with their families, have answered that call. Each and every generation has an opportunity to step up, and I am encouraged by this current generation of their willingness to step up. To our Marines in the audience, Representative Caskey and others, I was at Irmo High School the other evening for a National Honor Society induction ceremony. Two of the leaders there were young men. When they introduced them, they said they were going to go and report to basic training to be young Marines. Afterwards, I asked them, and I say this cautiously here, where are you going to have your training? And I said, Parris Island, and before I could get or, they said, sir, we're going to Parris Island where they make real Marines. So I'll let the Marines fight that out. But Parris Island, like Fort Jackson, are treasures of this great nation, And the Guard here in South Carolina works with them each and every day. We partner together with all our military branches to allow us to do the jobs that this nation first gives us the honor and the opportunity of doing, but then expects us to do so that they can carry out their lives in the home, in the land of the brave, because of those who are willing to make those sacrifices. It is my honor now to have the opportunity to introduce the next speaker. Really requires no introduction. He is one of ours. 3 of his sons have been part of ours. He is a great supporter of all of our military, and he and his wife have gone above and beyond the call of duty to be advocates for the military. Representative Joe Wilson, please come forward.
And ladies and gentlemen, and members of the General Assembly, and also current and former members of the military, fellow members to me, I'm so grateful to be here, and I am grateful to be here with General McCarty. I was happy in today's Aiken Standard newspaper to have cited his leadership in promoting our capabilities of cyber warfare. And so the South Carolina Army National Guard is in a premier location of with our and I see Chancellor Sandra Jordan here. My goodness, we got all kinds of dignitaries, and so and Bill Bethea even. This is good, but I'm just grateful to be here. And military service means a lot to me, and the general was correct. I give credit to my wife Roxanne. We have 4 sons who served in the military, and the reason they did is because they saw, as I would go through the community and I would run into different people, and the people that they saw who were the most capable, competent, and patriotic all served in the Guard with me. And that inspired all 4 of them, with encouragement by Roxanne, to serve. And so Alan, our Attorney General, served for a year, field artillery in Iraq, receiving a combat action badge. And for the persons here, 1 son was off track. He's a doctor in the Navy, but we still claim him. And I'm really grateful he served in Iraq. And then our 3rd son, Julian, in the Guard, served signal in Egypt. And our youngest guy, Hunter, served for a year in Afghanistan as an engineer. So military service means a lot. And then for the service members here, it can have a lifelong impact. My dad's service in the Flying Tigers, he served in India and China. And so I'm really grateful. That has given me such an appreciation of the people of India and China. I, in Congress, had the opportunity to be the co-chair of the India Caucus. I had the opportunity to lead a delegation to Houston last September to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and it's just been exciting to be there with the President of Houston and then to see the President in New Delhi today. How extraordinary. And then also, it's multi-generational, the military service, the benefits. My Navy doctor's son, who's now at Beaufort Naval Hospital, previously was at Naples, Italy. And so now I have 3 grandchildren who speak perfect Italian. So this is, so military service can mean a lot. And I'm just grateful to be here to show my appreciation. And additionally, what an honor I have to introduce a person who has made such a difference as a person who has backed up our military, supported our military as U.S. Attorney, as Attorney General, as Lieutenant Governor, and now a staunch supporter of our military, Governor Henry McMaster.
Thank you, Joe. Boy, this is a good-looking group. I'm always proud anytime I see a group of South Carolinians. Makes me, whenever I go out of state, to stand just a little bit taller because I represent you, and I'm proud of that. And I want to welcome Reverend Jesse Jackson back to town. You notice he doesn't talk quite as loud as he used to, but we can still hear him real well. And we're delighted you're here. And he's still brave. He's got on a Clemson Tiger pin right there in the heart of the University of South Carolina. I'll be very brief. The reason we're here is to recognize and honor those who serve in uniform, particularly in the South Carolina National Guard and Air Guard. We would not be where we were without our military. I would like to remind you that our state, with 8 major military bases and the Coast Guard now coming in stronger in Charleston, has one of the greatest military traditions, if not the greatest in the whole country. We've been fighting since the very beginning, starting in Charleston in 1670, and there's always been something. But in this position, as your governor, I get to talk to people from around the world that are looking to invest hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. And they want to do it for a lot of reasons. They're looking for places where they can thrive. And the main ingredient that they look for is the people. They all say that. They say the top 3 things we look for when we look into a place to invest billions of dollars is the people, the people, the people. So I was curious, why is it that our people stand so far apart from others? Why is it that we rise above the others? And it's because of our military tradition, which when you fold in with our Judeo-Christian tradition, both of which started at the very beginning, and you bring these people together under different circumstances from different places and put them down in paradise, you end up with strong people, and that's what we have. And that's reflected in the fact, as was stated by General Mark Clark when he was president of the Citadel, and by the way, General Gilmore's father was also the president of the Citadel. When he was president of the Citadel, he's a 4-star general. You remember, the youngest in the history of the country, I believe, after World War II. He said, and I quote, "South Carolina has more patriotism per square inch than any place in the world." Now, I believe it, and it's reflected right here today. So, General McCarty, ladies, gentlemen, South Carolinians, we are very proud of what South Carolina has accomplished. And I want to remind you, as I end, to always tell the children, there's no better place in the world to live, work, and raise a family than South Carolina. Teach the children to be proud of South Carolina. Thank you.
Today we are recognizing the 2020 National Guard Award winners. We'll start off with the South Carolina Army National Guard. Soldier of the Year, Specialist Jordan Allen. Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, Best Warrior, Staff Sergeant Kenneth Wingard. Warrant Officer of the Year, CW2 Kyle Zinn. General James C. Dozier Award, Captain Joseph Varon. Barbara Livingston, South Carolina Army National Guard Family of the Year Award, Miss Sarah Hemingway. Director's Award, Sergeant Brian Keith Jones. Okay, moving to the South Carolina Air National Guard. Airman of the Year, Senior Airman Joshua D. Power. Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, Tech Sergeant David Melkersman. First Sergeant of the Year, Master Sergeant Carl Clegg. Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, Senior Master Sergeant Marvin Bradford. South Carolina Air National Guard Officer of the Year, Captain Joshua Rosecrans. Barbara Livingston, South Carolina Air National Guard Family of the Year Award, Chief Master Sergeant Thomas McQueen. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a photo op for award recipients immediately following the retiring of the colors. We would like to have all award recipients and their families, military leadership, Governor McMaster, congressmen, and elected officials to remain here on the steps for a brief sequence of photos. Ladies and gentlemen, we will need your help in allowing for these photos to be taken efficiently, as the award recipients need to move quickly into the State House for a special recognition in the House chambers. At this time, I'm going to retire the colors.
Oh, stand by.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take the privilege of tag and break protocol for just 1 moment.
Yes, sir.
In 1963, when John Kennedy was killed, our hearts did bleed. On that occasion, one South Carolinian from Sumter Lincoln High led the honor guard in that awesome ceremony. He is former State Rep James Felder.
I'm here.
Thank you, Jay. Give Jan a big hand. Thank you.
I would ask you to stand so we can retire the colors. Retire the colors.
Detail. Oh. Hey. Oh. Yep.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the ceremony.